Hey everyone, welcome to the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag live once again on Wednesday night. I am joined by my good man Bill Murphy.
What's going on, folks? Welcome.
So glad to have you back, Bill. Tonight, I'm going to let Bill do all the explaining, but tonight is going to be a very heavily debated topic.
I'm always here.
You're always here.
Tonight's going to be a party guest who never leaves. No matter how bad you want him to leave.
He never leaves. He really does not never leave. You know, I just got to say that.
Never leave.
Oh my God. Anyways, tonight's topic.
JT has not thrown me out yet.
No, not yet. We'll see. We'll see when we get to one of our next topics on the Super Review Show. Anyways, our topic tonight. I'll let Bill do all the explaining right after I say it. Tonight's topic is this or that. Bruce Springsteen versus Tom Petty. Bill, take it away.
All right. And for those of you who watched last week, we did Billy Joel versus Elton John. And so we're going to do the same thing we did last week, except for Tom Petty and Bruce Springsteen. This is more of a discussion than a debate.
Yeah.
But there might be some debating. So today we're doing Tom Petty versus Bruce Springsteen. Next week is the big one. It's so big, we're not going to tell you what it is. We're not even going to tell you. You're just going to have to wait. Am I right?
Yep, you're going to have to wait till next week to find out what are...
Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about Tom Petty versus Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah, and this is going to be... Listen, if you thought... what did we do last week? We did Billy Joel versus
John.
If you think that's going to be crazy, for me personally, this is going to be really hard. We'll see.
Really? It's going to be hard for you?
I love both, Bill. We both know that I love both, but at the same time, it's like, holy crap, what are we going to do, you know?
I think for me, it's a little... It's probably the same level of difficulty, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But I do kind of think it may be a tad easier for me because the thing is, it's not that I dislike either group, but I don't like immensely love them like you do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from.
I like them. I like Bruce Springsteen. I like Tom Petty, but I'm not, it's not like last week, Billy Joel and Elton John. That one was a tough one.
Oh, yeah, that was.
I love really Billy Joel. I love Elton John. Next week's going to be harder. Again, not telling you what it is.
Oh, you all are going to love it.
You're just going to have to wait and see. We may bring some friends along. We may bring Justin. We may bring Matt Hemsley. We may bring everyone. We may bring all our friends. Everyone we met in our entire years of existence. We might bring them all.
Oh, boy, Bill.
We're going to need a bigger Zoom for that one.
We're going to need a bigger Zoom. You're funny.
Okay. And also Joe Wiley's watching. Hey, Joe.
Shout out to Joe Wiley, my good man. How are you?
And JT was telling me you guys were really depressed on Friday while watching.
Oh yeah, we went to
Red Sox live.
We went to a Yankee game. I mean, how could I forget? That was rough. They got to start swinging at the balls, man. I'm telling you.
At least they won last night. That's all. I'm happy about that. Okay, now enough dilly-dallying.
Enough dilly-dallying for tonight, then.
Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. All right. Who should we start with first? Let's start with this is a tough choice. Let's start with Tom Petty first.
Okay, Tom
the
Petty.
Man.
By the way, may he rest in peace.
Absolutely. May he rest in peace. God bless him. True icon.
I think he's kind of underrated once you think about it.
I would totally agree with that.
I think he's on the cusp of. I would say he's on the cusp of being underrated and being accurately rated.
I would say that. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go along with that.
Okay, are we talking about Tom Petty just by himself or Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers?
Well, then this is going to be. I'm so glad you brought that up because we're going to say, look, this is going to be Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and then it's going to be Bruce Springsteen and the East Street Band. We got to talk about both sides,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Tom Petty songs, how would you describe them?
very much heartland rock. I would say like it's interesting to say.
If you listen to the song American Girl, that does have that very heart
that heartland feel.
Yeah.
Totally.
And also
I think
Free Fallin', if you listen to the lyrics, it does have that very heartland, middle America. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis. Loves voices in America too. Loves Jesus and her boyfriend too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost a country-esque thing, if you will. You know what I mean? Like that's early country if you think about it too.
Once you think about it, you're kind of right.
It's just the truth. I mean, if you think about it, look, how many people can also, and I'm just gonna say this right now for both artists. Both artists have both had huge influences on country artists today. Like well before Garth Brooks, well after Garth Brooks. You know what I mean? It's insane how people just like these two artists, and another one's John Mellencamp. He's another one who could to help them out too. You know? Oh,
absolutely.
Like they really put influenced a lot of country artists. I mean, Kenny Chesney covered Bruce Springsteen's One Step Up. A lot of people covered Tom Petty's Free Fallin', you know?
Oh, really? Yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah.
I'm free falling. That is our awful cover of Free Fallin'.
Yes, plug for
it on iTunes.
You can purchase it on iTunes.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Please purchase it on iTunes. It's great. No, it's not.
But you could purchase instead if you really wanted to. I'm going to get a drink tonight from my new mug that I bought from the Super Review Show's merchandise store. Check us out on our store.
Merchandising. That's where the real money is, folks.
I'm going to just show this to the camera. I had to point this out tonight. Look at this. This is our official Super Review Show merchandise mug. Check it out.
TSRS.
Movies, reviews, podcast. Good stuff.
Movies, reviews, and podcast. That's all on the Super Review Show.
Yes. Plug for our store. I had to plug that. Yeah, I will plug again at the end of the show.
But getting back to Tom Petty, yeah, his music is very heartlandy, middle America-ish.
Oh, yeah. The guy was an iconic genius guitarist as well. We can't forget that.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, fun fact, Bill. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat board.
We are making graphs with those names. Do I have to make you another diagram?
No, Bill, you're fine.
I'm just busting your chops, you know that.
Oh boy, I was gonna say I actually almost saw Tom Petty in 2017 right before he died. He was coming to locally, not to anywhere in New York, but the Prudential Center in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe next time for sure.
And
he's dead.
See what happens when you wait.
Yeah, because that thing too. A lot of these guys are dying, and you never know. This could be the last time you see them. Go see them while you can, regardless of who it is. Billy Joel the Garden, or
when I saw when I saw Paul McCartney, in 2017,
which we're both at the same show.
I remember because I was going with Justin, and I was originally supposed to go to my brother's college that weekend because it was family weekend. And I called him up and I said, Dan, and I texted him. I said, Dan, I don't think I'm going to be coming this week. He goes, why? I'm like, Justin's got, I'm going to see Paul McCartney at the Garden. And my brother knows how much of a big Beatles fan I am. And he goes, I'm a little disappointed, but I'll be home next week, so I'll see you then. I'm like, Bill, how many more opportunities are you going to get to see Paul McCartney?
That's a very fair point. Good job.
I'm like, how many opportunities are you going to get to see Sir Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a good point. And I'm like, okay, well, and I did not feel guilty at all because, again, a lot of these artists are dying off and that's the sad truth.
It's just life. It's very unfortunate.
That's life.
So true.
Sinatra reference.
Yeah, another Jersey guy.
Jersey. We somewhat like you.
Well.
No offense to the great state of New Jersey.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
But anyway, Yeah, but yeah, no, I actually have a family friend who actually saw Tom Petty at his very last concert.
In California?
No, it was at Bethel Woods, I think.
Oh, the one in Bethel Woods. Okay, like on that last tour, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, and I remember I was talking to that family friend like right after Tom Petty died. He's like, I can't believe that was his last show I saw.
Yeah. It's a
Like
biggie.
I just saw him a few months ago.
And sure enough.
And how did he die again?
Let's check it out. There's a thing called Google.
But as Abraham Lincoln once eloquently stated, JT, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Guys, he did not say that. That was a fake quote.
No. He died of. He was a singer. He died of an accidental drug overdose. Right here.
Yikes.
Ay. That's awful.
Yeah.
And I mean, he fooled around with drugs a lot when he was younger, but at the same time, it's like, he has 2 kids. Maybe they could pick it up Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. If only one of them named Tom.
I think he has 2 daughters.
Oh, then never mind. Worth a try.
We tried.
We definitely tried.
Maybe they're musically inclined and they can take over.
Yeah.
Hopefully that.
I hope so.
And also, Tom Petty actually did some work with whatchamacallit, with George Harrison.
Oh yeah.
Bob Dylan and Roy Orbison. The Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, how could we forget them? The Traveling Wilburys were great.
Yeah, too bad they didn't last too long.
No, but this is a great super group with Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne of Electric Light Orchestra, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty. It's great.
Too bad they kind of had to scrap it after the death of Roy Orbison.
Yeah, Roy was a great guy too.
But yeah, there's actually, and this is about Traveling Wilburys in general. And with Tom Petty, like Tom Petty was really good friends with George Harrison. They in 2002, on the year anniversary of George Harrison's death, they did a tribute concert.
Oh, I think I saw that on TV once.
And Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers did a cover of the song "Taxman."
Oh wow, yeah.
Cause I'm the tax man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the tax man. But yeah, he did that song. They also did a cover of a Beatles song that I think is very underrated. It's called "I Need You."
Okay, was it on one of their earlier albums?
It was on the Help album.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You don't realize how much I need you.
Yeah.
And also at him, Jeff Lynne, and George Harrison's son Danny. Bob Dylan unfortunately couldn't make it.
Oh, dang it, Bob.
Bob Dylan couldn't make it, and that's really sad because Bob and George were really good friends. But they did a cover of the song "Handle with Care."
Oh yeah, yep.
And yeah, so Tom Petty, his music is very, like I said, getting back to him in general, like it is kind of folksy music.
A little bit, yeah.
It is kind of folksy.
Yeah. It's definitely more
enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites, but I do like his music. There are a couple songs I do like.
Yeah.
And we'll do our top favorites at the end, like we did last week with Billy Joel and Elton John.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what yeah, but like I said, I think he's very underrated though.
He is. And to be honest, he is very underrated in my opinion as well. I mean, look, with the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, he had American Girl, Don't Do Me Like That, Refugee, The Waiting, like back to back to back. Don't Come Around Here No More is great. Learning to Fly is great.
Learning to Fly is really good.
Yeah, but actually, it's funny. Ironically, as a solo artist, he's a great solo artist as well. We have to, and we'll get into that when we get to Springsteen as well.
Yeah, but Perry's, I Won't Back Down is like one of my favorites.
Yeah, Free Falling's on that same album with Full Moon Fever. It's on there.
Won't back down.
Hey, baby.
There ain't no easy way out.
Yeah, right.
That is a really good song.
That's on the album Full Moon Fever. And it's funny. I listened to it on Spotify. I listened to the oh God, what is it called? The whole album on Spotify. Now there's two different versions of Running Down a Dream. Did you know this?
Really, there is? Please share with the class.
So Running Down a Dream is the one on the one on Full Moon Fever ends with the thing that says, "Hello, CD listeners. We've come to the point in this album where those who are listening on cassette or record will have to stand up or sit down and turn the record over or tape. In fairness to those listeners, we will now take a few seconds to begin side 2. Thank you. Here's side 2.
That's hilarious.
It's great. And he did that again on one of his other right after Running Down a Dream. He played that on the recording. I think it's on Wildflowers. He did the same thing as well.
And I just want to say on that Full Moon Fever, the song, the Apartment song, I think that song is extremely underrated.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
I don't know if you ever heard the song, but the Apartment song, I think that song is extremely underrated.
I've heard it once. I liked it a lot.
I really do like it. Probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. Fun fact though, did you know that he had only one album that actually hit number 1 on the Billboard 200?
Really?
He only had one out of all his success. You would think, oh, Full Moon Fever would do it, or like what's the Into the Great Wide Open would do it. No. Apparently, the only one that hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, which, by the way, for those who don't know, the Billboard 200 is the tracks albums. This is like the Hot 100 tracks number 1 songs. The Billboard 200 tracks number 1 albums. The only album to top the Billboard 200 by Tom Petty was his last album in 2014. Insane. Like, it's the only one to top the Billboard 200 in his entire career. That's freaky to me for some reason, because it was his last album before he died. Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
Like Southern Accents didn't even do it back in '85. Look, where's the charts? Number 7 on the Billboard 200, right? Then what's the other one I can't think of? Damn the Torpedoes, great album, right? You would think, oh, it would top the 200. No, number 2. Like he literally his last album.
Cigar.
Yeah, literally, his last album was the only one to do so, which is actually kind of freaky. Like I said, how his last album was the only one to do it, and he died shortly afterwards, which is crazy. But what's your go-to Tom Petty song, Bill? What's your go-to?
Oh, that's a tough one.
If you had to narrow it down to one, I got mine, but you got yours. Go ahead.
I'm gonna probably have to say I Won't Back Down.
Okay, and I'm including solo work in there as well. Personally, let me be completely upfront with you. American Girl.
Ooh, I really like that one too. I
love that track, and for some reason, it was not a big hit. It didn't even peak in the top 100 or whatever. Hold on, where did it chart? It didn't even hit the Hot 100 back in 1976 or 7. Is that crazy?
That is.
Like the guy, he literally, it's his best song. I think it's his best song compared to.
I think it's a really good song too.
I love America, but we do have to talk about this too. I got to talk about this. Where's his greatest hits? There's a song that he wrote for his greatest hits, called "Mary Jane's Last Dance." Dance with Mary Jane one more time to kill the pain. Come on, people. That's a great song.
That is a great song.
You know what's funny about that? It turns out that this song, Mary Jane's Last Dance, he recorded it for his greatest hits album, right? And he literally thought it would not be a big hit. It was the only new song on the greatest hits record. And sure enough, it peaked at number 14 on the Hot 100 in 1994.
Really?
Like it was one of his first. It was one of his first hits of the 90s. And it was like, he literally thought it would be a flop. Like it says right here, Billboard Hot 100, number 14. It peaked at that. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Like, also, hold on. I'm just going to talk about this too. The people, this is another great group I like. This not for another time, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers, reportedly, they stole or very closely copied Mary Jane's Last Dance for their hit song Danny California. If you listen to the two, they said they really do sound the same. The Chili Peppers, Danny California, and Mary Jane's Last Dance. And it's like, because Rick Rubin produced both songs, the producer. He's a great producer, by the way. But like, think about that. Like, like they both sound the same practically, which is funny. But this is a great track too. Oh my God. Like Danny, like the chords on Danny California and the chords on Mary Jane's Last Dance just sound the same to me. Very, 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 very similar, I should say. And yet they're both produced by Rick Rubin, which is great.
That's very interesting.
That's intriguing, right? But like so many people cover other things too, and they copy stuff, but whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, I admit I'm okay. I thought I got something wrong, which I didn't.
What do you got?
Wait, I might have. Hold on, I gotta read this for a sec.
What do you got?
Who had a son? Oh, I think okay, okay. I think I might. Okay, I think he does have a son because I said. Oh wait, yeah, he had two daughters. Oh, he had a stepson. Okay, I got that right. So that has been fact checked by me. Okay, go. Okay, so go on and. Yeah, I know him and Stevie Nicks were actually good friends.
Yeah, the two of them were really good friends. Fleetwood Mac, she's great.
Yeah, she is.
I saw it when I saw Fleetwood Mac.
Thanks for the invite, pal.
Well, next time they come around, I'll invite you along.
I appreciate it.
She actually waved to me from because I was facing I was towards the back of the stage. It's crazy. Like I have to show you guys. Like one day I'll see what I can do with the video and stuff like that. Because when I go to concerts, I do record songs and I put them on YouTube. But you know, honestly, I was very during the end of "Go Your Own Way." Stevie Nicks was waving at me. I'm like, "Hi, Stevie!" It was funny.
Oh, that's funny.
It was very funny.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So overall, Tom
Petty's great, though. We have to admit that.
And him and Bruce Springsteen have something in common. We'll get to that when we get to that. It's something hilarious. We'll get to that in a sec.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing good. We're so far so good, my guy.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I thought I was going to be a little, because like I said, I like Tom Petty, but like I said, like I didn't think I was going to be able to do a whole thing on him, but looks like we can do that. See, don't ever doubt.
Don't ever doubt.
Do not ever doubt, my friends. Doubting is bad.
Oh my God. They performed at the Super Bowl halftime show in 2008.
Yeah, that was part of the Super Bowl of one of the greatest things ever.
That's a good halftime show. I remember that.
Yeah, it was also the Super Bowl of one of the happiest days of my life.
Do tell.
That's when the New York Giants beat the soon-to-be undefeated New England Patriots.
"Quote-unquote" Patriots fans.
Oh, I remember that so much. I'll probably talk about it more on my podcast. But anyway, no, because I remember that Super Bowl. Everybody had everybody was like, "Oh, perfect season coming." And I remember I got my dad a shirt that said 18 wins and 1 giant loss.
That was a great shirt. Oh my God.
18 and
so funny.
But,
that was great.
But Tom Petty, he actually, and you know what the thing is? He actually played at halftime. He played the song "I Won't Back Down."
Yep. And reading that here.
And my cousin joked around, goes, "Now Giant fans love Tom Petty because I Won't Back Down probably inspired him to go out and win the game.
Hey, there we go, guys.
It worked. It worked. It worked.
There we go.
I didn't know he acted too. That's interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Very small stuff, though. Nothing crazy.
Oh, his voice in that he was in that Simpsons episode.
Yeah, his voice is so iconic too. Let's talk. I mean, we want to talk about that for a sec too. Like when you hear a Tom Petty voice, you know it's him. Like, but just by his voice too. It's not quite Bob Dylan, but it does the job. You know. Oh my God. Do you have any other comments for Tom Petty, my guy?
I think I'm good.
I think it's good. Like I said, he is one of a kind, truthfully. And I cannot emphasize this enough. If you've never heard of Tom Petty, if you've ever heard of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, do yourself a goddamn favor and go to Spotify right now and check him out.
Absolutely. Because like I said, I think Tom Petty is sort of underrated, but I would say he's on the cusp of underrated and properly rated.
I would say so as well. He is one of the best, to be honest with you. He's a fantastic artist. I love him quite a bit. And his guitar playing is flawless, in my opinion. So, anyways, Tom Petty. Any other comments for Tom Petty, Bill, or no?
I think we're good. I think it's time to move on to, I think, who I know you want to move on to.
I in fairness, I love both of these artists, but there might be only one winner tonight, Bill, and I'm not sure yet who it's going to be. But let's talk about Bruce the Boss Springsteen. Hell yeah!
What can we say about him?
Oh, where to begin?
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Welcome to this. Could go for another hour.
This could go for another hour. So put your feet up, grab yourself a nice beer or a glass of wine, or if you don't drink, grab yourself a nice Coke or a nice cup of tea.
Or you could grab some iced tea and then pour it into one of our Super Review Show merchandise mugs.
This is where we shamelessly promote our merchandise. Shamelessly! Guess how much shame I have about this.
Oh, look at that, everyone. Love to see this Super Review Show mug that I have. Just saying. Movies Reviews Podcast. Check us out.
Check us out. We're awesome.
We are awesome. So here we go. Bruce, the Boss Springsteen. One of my what might be my favorite artist of all time. Like neck and neck with Billy Joel. Neck and neck. I love Tom Petty.
You got to see them together.
I did, and it was a great night. We'll get to that in a little bit. We talked about that last week too. But oh my God, how could you not? And for the people who don't like him, there's something wrong with you. Like, let's put it that way.
And as former President Barack Obama said about him, the only person I have to call boss.
Yes, the only person that, just to quote former President Obama, I'm the president, but he's the boss. So there you go.
They did a podcast together.
I know they did that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it, but I heard it was interesting.
Yeah. So I got to tell you about this guy, Bruce Springsteen. This guy, Bill, you want to start before I go on? Just before I go on my tangent?
You can go on your tangent. I got to think about what I have to say.
Okay. Basically, long story short, to make a very, very long and condensed story very short, Bruce Springsteen has been in my life throughout most of my life. He is a big influence on me as a person, how I look at the world, how I see things. His musical style is, to me, a very definitive look at great taste in rock and roll, and not just rock and roll, but America. I do love him quite a bit. And with such amazing hit songs, such as Born to Run, my favorite song of all time, Thunder Road, Badlands, Hungry Heart, The River, Atlantic City, Dancing in the Dark, I'm on Fire, The Glory Days, Brilliant Disguise, Human Touch, Streets of Philadelphia, The Rising, and We Take Care of Our Own. He is one of the best musical selling artists of all time, with 150 million albums sold worldwide, making him one of the best selling music artists He's close to an EGOT. He's got to get that Emmy soon. We got to bet that.
Okay, we got a Bruce. Call us. We'll try to get you in a TV series so you can finally get an Emmy and be an EGOT.
Yeah, Bruce. As soon as we get that Letter to You documentary released on Netflix, you'll be able to get that Emmy for the EGOT. For those you don't know,
get in the EGOT, folks.
For those you don't know what an EGOT is, it's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, which is a very high established honor. You got to work towards that carefully, people. So I love this guy. He's fantastic. He grew up in New Jersey, whereas Tom Petty grew up in Florida. Classic guy.
I have some jokes I can make about Florida, but I'm not going to.
Don't make the jokes about Florida.
I can do it.
No, Bill, we don't want to make the jokes about Florida now. Like Florida.
Oh, Florida. They probably like, oh, we're not offended by jokes. We know. We're the punchline.
Oh, but I'm being.
We know we're the punchline. And there's another joke, but I'm not going to say it on air. I'll tell you off air. But anyway,
yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. So, what a guy! His first two albums didn't really have a lot of success. They were at least a critical acclaim, but not commercial acclaim. Then he released Born, and then I have to tell you this quote. All right. Music critic John Landau, who became his lifelong friend and producer for a long time. I have seen the future of rock and roll, and his name is Bruce Springsteen. And the night when I needed to feel young, he made me feel like I was hearing music for the very first time. That's the truth. Then in 1975, Born to Run was released. Fantastic, star-filled, star-studded album. The E Street Band is probably the best live band out there, to be honest with you. Honestly, it's amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I know you have Bill, I know you have not seen Bruce Springsteen live, but when he tours, we're going.
I'll do it.
And you're going to be floored because I'm sick and tired of hearing people like, oh, well, clearly Green Day is no. Oh my God, Panic at the Disco was the greatest live show. Get out of here. It's Bruce Springsteen.
And I heard he goes on for like 4 hours, right?
Literally, the show I was at was 4 hours long. I stood there in awe and wonder for 4 hours.
Hey, King, what about the 2-hour concert, which are so much better? That was a joke that was dated back to our first COVID live stream thing.
That's right. Oh, my God.
Yeah, remember? I like the 2-hour shows.
I love 2-hour concerts that are totally fake. No, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, get on it. I'm not kidding you. The phenomenon of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band live. So great. In the mid-'80s.
I remember hearing he had to do a show in in Hyde Park in London.
Yeah.
And they actually had to cut the power because it went too long.
Oh my God. And Paul McCartney was at that show too. He was on stage with him.
Yeah, did you hear that too? They had to cut the power because he went on too long.
He literally, and you know what's funny? Not just that show. His longest show ever stands at 4 hours and 7 minutes. Like in Finland. Like they actually pulled the plug on him in Finland. They're like, all right, get off the stage. And the Twist and Shout was like 17 minutes long.
You do not pull the plug on Bruce, my friends.
No, you cannot. Clearly. Oh, God. You know, his Broadway show is coming back. You know that, right?
Yeah, I heard it's coming back like before any of the other Broadway shows come back.
Oh, my God. I heard that Springsteen on Broadway brought in a lot of money for not just him, but Broadway as well. I think that's why he's doing it, too, to be honest with you.
What was that?
I think Bruce, because when he did Springsteen on Broadway last time, which, by the way, tickets go on sale tomorrow. Just saying. His show on Broadway got a lot of money for Broadway as well. And he did an amazing job. Like, yes, he brought home a lot of money, but at the same time, Broadway itself got revenue as well. I think he's why he's trying to do it because of COVID now. He's trying to like do that for Broadway as well. That's just my guess, but you know.
Yeah, and I guarantee you this is probably going to give him a lot of money because, you know, Broadway has been struggling due to, you know. Say it with me, folks. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, COVID.
But
Annoying.
talking about since we talked about like Tom Petty's like songwriting type, let's talk about Springsteen's. I feel like it's more sort of that blue collar, like working class type. I don't know how you feel, but
I completely agree. That's a very accurate way of saying it.
I think like Bruce Springsteen's is more of that like working class, like the song The River.
Yeah. Well, I mean, The River was more fun. It was more like a fun album to me, personally, because it's like the songs like Sherry Darling and Hungry Heart, Out in the Street, stuff like that. Those are like happy, fun songs. So
Yeah,
to me,
I meant the song itself, The River, is kind of
depressing. I think in the album, the song, the song itself is kind of dark. Like it's sad too if you think about it. To me, like his lyric writing on that was a good step in a unique direction, which led to Nebraska. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Nebraska was an album in 1982. That was his first all acoustic album, which was phenomenal. His first 7 albums are great. The first 8, actually. I count Tunnel of Love, but that's me.
Like, but that is. But I feel like Bruce Springsteen music is a lot of that working class, blue collar.
Yeah, I mean he writes songs to try to inspire people, like who are like she's trying to write for the working class. Like for instance, like in the song "The Promised Land," what has it go? I get up every morning, go to work each day with your eyes go blind and your blood runs cold. Sometimes I feel so weak, I just want to explode. Like he's writing about the struggles of everyday life in factories, and yet he's never been in a factory in his life, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, because I heard somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, JT. Correct me if I'm wrong. The song "The River." Yeah, we're going back to that for a second.
Yeah,
but
you're fine. You're fine.
"The River" was actually about his sister and his brother-in-law.
I believe so. I'm not. I think you're right. I just want to double check because I want to check.
It was actually about his sister and his brother-in-law who got pregnant, and they were way too young, and they ran down and got married.
Yeah, The River. The song.
And they said the song was basically about them.
Yeah, hold on one sec. The song "The River" has a single. We come down to the valley where Mr. When You're Young. Yeah. As far as I know, and I'm not, to my understanding, I'm not the biggest. Now, The River is. I like the song a lot, but my dad is correcting me. Bill is right. Sorry, Bill, you're right. Check the chat board. It's about his sister.
Thank you, Mr. Mahoney.
Welcome, Dad, to the chat board.
JT's dad is watching.
Bruce.
That means we got to hate ourselves. Damn it.
God damn it! I thought I knew that one too. Was it? But yeah, The River was great. Nebraska was phenomenal too. It was a great acoustic album. Born in the USA, a super album. Yeah, let's talk about that for a sec too.
Let us talk about it.
So, what's your favorite song on Born in the USA?
Hold on, let me go down the track.
I got it. Like, here, there they are.
Okay.
Born in the USA, Cover Me, Darlington County, Working on the Highway, Downbound Train, I'm on Fire, No Surrender, Bobby Jean, I'm Going Down, Glory Days, Dancing in the Dark, and My Hometown.
I'm gonna have to say Glory Days.
Really good pick. Yeah, I think
Glory Days is. I also really like. I like Dancing in the Dark too.
Of course, pop it.
Dancing in the Dark. I've noticed that song is Bruce Springsteen showing his more poppy side.
That was like the only pop really song he had, aside from like Glory Days. Really,
I think Glory Days is more rock than pop.
I agree with you on that. I'll give you that.
Born in the USA, which is the most misinterpreted song in human history.
Yeah, this song is not about patriotism at all in the least.
This song is like the most. This song is about how Vietnam veterans were treated when they came back.
Yeah. I mean, It's a sad song.
Hear the song, they think, oh, USA, USA, oh, good patriotic song.
Yeah, no bueno.
And the funny thing is Ronald Reagan actually wanted to use this song for his 1984 re-election campaign.
That's right. I remember. I don't remember this, but I remember reading about this.
And Bruce Springsteen basically told him, dude, you might want to listen to the words. And I think he was going to use it, but again, I could be wrong. Bruce Springsteen, I think, sued him.
Did he? I think. I forget.
I think Bruce Springsteen may have sued Ronald Reagan. And you know what? Like, you know what? Since I brought that up, you know what I told you, the thing that Bruce Springsteen and Tom Petty had in common?
What?
They both had songs that were used by political campaigns, and they were told to scrap. Like, and I actually just read this coming on. I'm not trying to get political here, folks. I'm just telling you the facts here.
You're good. Go ahead.
Last year during one of Trump's campaign rallies, they played the song "I Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty.
I remember this. Yep.
And Tom Petty's family basically sent Trump a cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who don't know legal terms, it's basically stop or we'll sue.
Yeah, and REM did the same thing to him. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like the here thing. And listen, I could probably write you a whole doctoral thesis about this.
Yeah.
I could probably write you a whole master's paper on this, but there's a thing, it started with, and this, I think, Bruce Springsteen and Ronald Reagan, this was the one that started that whole thing when politicians use music that they really shouldn't be using, because, you have to get whatchamacallit, you have to get permission.
You have to get a license.
Oh, you have to get licensing. You absolutely have to get licensing. Like, or not even just political routes. Like, if, let's say, the Yankees wanted to use Born in the USA, they would have to get licensing at the game.
Correct.
And it's so funny. Like, I think like one of the best misuses of music besides this was and I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here.
Oh, go ahead. You're fine.
I have, the song "Eye of the Tiger."
Yep.
Back during the 2016 presidential election, Mike Huckabee, who was running for president, was doing a rally for Kim Davis, the clerk who got thrown in jail because she refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. At the rally, when Kim Davis was coming out, they played the Survivor song "Eye of the Tiger."
Yep.
And Survivor had the best response ever.
What'd they say?
They said, "Come on, Mike. We know you're not Madonna, but we can do better than that. We'll see you soon." Which basically means we'll see you in court.
Oh my God. And you remember? Yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, but guys, get the licensing, please.
Yeah.
And you know what, JT, I could show you this later, but there was John Oliver did a great thing a couple years ago about like certain campaigns using their songs, and it had the people from Dropkick Murphys, Josh Groban, and some other singers. They were going, "Don't use our songs."
Yeah.
It goes, "And if you don't like it, we'll sue you." I'll show it to you later. It's hilarious. But guys, don't use the songs unless you have the licensing or the permission.
Can I give you an example that came up not in 2016, I think before that, with Hillary Clinton and Captain Jack by Billy Joel? Do you remember this?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. So listen, last little tidbit from politics for a little minute. So here's the deal. For those of you who know the song by Billy Joel, Captain Jack is about heroin, a kid on heroin, and he's like, this kid's jerking off, all this crap, right? It's a really bad song. It's a great song, but it's like got bad, like it's kind of depressing. Hillary Clinton used that at one point, believe it or not, to run for New York governor or senator. I forget what it was exactly.
She ran for senator.
Yeah, it was senator. But she used Captain Jack. I'm like, what is wrong with you? New York state of mind. Like, come on. She literally put on Captain Jack, and it's like literally, there's lines in that song that are just so depressing and like not derogatory, but they're just like so like depressing. You're like, oh my god, wow.
Mr. Joel say, Hillary, don't use my song.
Well, I don't know if she got a license or not, but whatever,
But anyway, but it's like, but even getting back to the Springsteen Reagan thing, listen to the freaking words, pal. I think when you hear the title "Born in the USA," you think, "Oh, it's a fun patriotic song. This is great." And yeah, but guys, if you're gonna use a song and you're gonna ask for the licensing, my small recommendation: listen to the freaking song first.
Hashtag Trump got COVID in hospital. Born in the USA rant.
Listen to the freaking song, and
oh my god,
and what's also funny, if this is the last thing before we go back on this, but it's like so funny. Like after Bruce Springsteen shot down Reagan,
yep,
as in didn't let him use the song. He tried to use the song "Pink Houses" by John Mellencamp.
Oh my god!
And people go, "Yeah, that's not really a big patriotic song either." Like I've never really done any analysis of that song. And John Mellencamp told him no as well.
It's so funny.
So yeah, guys, if you're gonna use songs for anything, listen first, please.
Yeah,
like out the lyrics.
Literally, I had a brother at Khe Sanh fighting off the Viet Cong. They're still there. He's all gone. He had a woman he loved in Saigon. I got a picture of her. You really think that's a national anthem? Jesus Christ, people are nuts.
Yeah, Reagan and Pat Buchanan. I'm just reading this off the Wikipedia page now.
Yeah.
Yay, free information!
Yeah, non-copyrightable.
But yeah, listen to the freaking song first.
People are nuts.
The song presents a Vietnam veteran as a tragic figure alienated upon his return for more. Yes! Had a brother. Yeah, but that is, aside from all that, this is a really good song.
It is.
Again,
so is this your favorite?
Most misinterpreted song in history.
Yeah. Was that your favorite song off of Born? You said Glory Days, right?
Glory
Going back
Days.
to our original conversation. Okay.
Yeah, it was Glory Days.
Gotcha. I had a friend who was a big baseball. If I had to pick my favorite, it would be their. Probably the last four cuts are my favorite. I'm going down Glory Days, Dancing in the Dark in my hometown. Really, those four to me are great.
Really likes Dancing in the Dark, and unfortunately, this gentleman could not join us this evening.
Matt Hemsley.
Matt Hemsley, shout out, buddy. We miss you.
Shout out, buddy.
We miss
Love
you.
Love the
We really hope when your work wraps up, we could get you back here. We really would.
We'd love to have you back.
We'd love to have you back, buddy.
So, anyways, Born in the USA. What came after that? Tunnel of Love came out after that. I'm not going to go into the whole depth of it, but Tunnel of Love. I got to shed some light on this. Tunnel of Love is a highly, I'm dead serious, a highly underrated album from his catalog. Like when people say to me, "Oh, like what's your Bruce Springsteen album?" I say the first 8 albums. This is the 8th album. I don't go 7 back. I go 8 back. Like because then after that you pick and choose. But honestly, Tunnel of Love is fantastic. Good God, like no joke. It's so dark, twisted, crazy songs about like square parts, cautious man. There's just to name a few. Brilliant disguise, 1 step up and 2 steps back. Come on, let's get real. If you have not checked out Tunnel of Love, I recommend you check out Tunnel of Love. It's a fantastic record.
Yeah, and that's good you brought that up. You've seen the movie, what is it, Blinded by the Light?
Yeah, I have. I love that movie.
And I remember when I went to go see it with my very dear friend, Mr. Daniel Zucker. Man, Dan, if you are listening, shout out, buddy.
Shout out to Dan.
I remember he says, there was no mention because if you remember in the movie, they're basically talking about Bruce Springsteen like he's irrelevant at this time.
Yeah.
And like no man, because this movie does take place in 1987.
Right as Tunnel of Love came out, yeah.
Yeah, nobody mentioned his album that came out that year, Tunnel of Love.
Yeah, which I cannot emphasize enough. It is a great Great album. It's got messages galore about like you're looking for relationship advice. Listen to Town of Love. Let's put it that way. Seriously,
It's very underrated.
very like literally, it's one of the best albums of all time, and easily one of the best albums of all time. But it's so underappreciated because Born in the USA was such a juggernaut. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, anyways, Human Touch and Lucky Town in 1992. Both I thought were really good stuff on them. Not. That's why I say the first 8 albums are great. But like, I liked Human Touch. I liked Lucky Town. I liked them quite a bit. I thought they were really good. The 57 channels and nothing on. That's a funny song. 57 channels and nothing on. Lucky Town I thought was a little bit better than Human Touch, but they're both equally great in my opinion. Like Living Proof is about his son. Better Days was a great hit in the early 90s. Honestly, they're all great. Then he won his first Oscar for Streets of Philadelphia. How could we forget?
For the movie, Philadelphia.
Yep, great movie, great song, great soundtrack. He also did a greatest hits album. What else? I forget. And then in 1999, he was elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then he did the reunion tour. Then The Rising came out after September 11th.
Oh, that is a great album.
The Rising was great, dude.
The Rising is probably one of my favorite Bruce Springsteen songs.
Yeah, the song's great. The album's great too.
For the Rising.
Come on up for the rise. It's so great. And they won a couple Grammys, I think. Actually, I might be wrong.
Yeah. Also the song My City of Ruins.
Oh, great one.
Which was actually written before 9/11, which was actually about Asbury Park.
Yeah.
But it went on that album and it was actually adapted for 9/11.
Yeah, because they made it about the towers.
Yeah, because if he did that song if after 9/11 they did a telethon called America Tribute to Heroes.
Right.
I know, guys, I'm not reading just off the thing. But
we actually know this.
I actually know this. I'm smarter than you folks think I am. But when he was playing the opening notes on the harmonica, and then he said, this is a prayer for our fallen brothers and sisters. And he played this song, and it also took on meaning after Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And My City of Ruins.
It's a good one.
And also, yeah, that whole album is about 9/11.
There's one song on this album I really do like quite a bit, and it's called "Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin." It's kind of like a beach song.
Really?
Ever heard it?
No.
Yeah. No, it's really great. I recommend you check it out if you get a chance. The song is called "Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin." It's actually like it's a bop. I hate to put it like that, but it's a bop. It's a great, just fun song.
Why do you hate to put it like that?
Well, because it's on an album about September 11th. You know, it's such an upbeat song compared to
the rest of it.
Yeah, like "You're Missing" or "The Fuse" or "Empty Sky." You know what I mean? Like, so you know. Any other comments on The Rising? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think The Rising is a really good album. Like I said, and I love the song too.
Oh, the title track is fantastic.
Come on up for the rising. Come on up, lay your head to mine. Love that song.
So let's keep going. Let's go up to 2000. I didn't. Okay, this is the first album I did not like. I did not like Devils and Dust.
I never heard it, so I can't comment.
It was his second album that was all acoustic, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest with you. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't like it, but there's so much stuff on there. I'm not too big on it, to be honest with you, because it's just like The Rising was like a big comeback for him, and then he does an acoustic album. But then, not gonna shed too much light on it. But then in 2007, this album was released. Bill, have you heard of the Magic album?
I have not.
Bill, this is your homework tonight.
I got to go listen to this album, don't I?
Start to finish, 47 minutes and 47 seconds.
I'll do that all tonight.
No, whenever you get a chance. Listen, here's the thing. This album came out in 2007, And it's basically his attempt to make the Beach Boys Pet Sounds with modern day guitars. It's a very rich mix. It's a very rich, like, songwriting and mix of stuff. The song "Girls in Their Summer Clothes" is like my second or third or fourth favorite Bruce Springsteen song. It's like in the top 5. It actually charted on the Hot 100.
Really?
In 2008. A lot of people don't know this, but this song, one of my favorite Bruce Springsteen songs. It charted at it reached number, where'd it go? It charted at number 95 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Really?
Like it actually reached the Hot 100 to some capacity in 2008, which I thought was amazing. And I still have the song "Radio Nowhere." I don't know if you ever heard of it, but "Radio Nowhere," I still have the digital download for iTunes from 2008 on my laptop. I'm that crazy, but it's great. Honestly, Radio, I recommend it. I really recommend Magic. For those of you who have not heard the Magic album, I recommend it quite a bit. It's like some minor political undertones. Like this is when the political stuff started coming into his music quite a bit, but not a lot. Like just there's certain lines of it that are like that, you know?
Yeah.
But it's still great. Honestly, it's one of the best albums in the past, like 10 years, 20 years, I'd say. If you're looking for like artists who've been doing this for that long and artists who've been doing it for this, like that well, this is one of those albums you just love. It's fantastic. "Radio Nowhere," "Girls in Summer Clothes," "Long Walk Home," all great tracks. I really do recommend it. It's a fantastic track. Album, sorry. Magic, I recommend it. "Working on a Dream," his next album was okay. The title track is great. He played it at the Super Bowl. He played the song "Working on a Dream" at the Super Bowl. And that was the subsequent title track for his next album, "Working on a Dream." Not gonna go too much into that though. It's good. It's kind of like a second. It's like a second Magic, but it's not I prefer Magic over "Working on a Dream." That's me. Then Clarence Clemens died.
Oh yeah,
10 years ago. Like this. No, next week he died 10 years ago. Wow.
May he rest it. One of my favorite things I remember from him was like on his cover of "Santa Claus Is Coming to Town."
Yeah.
He goes, "You better be good for goodness sakes." Clarence Clemens, "You better be good for goodness sake."
That's a deep voice.
And also he was just, and also Clarence Clemens, like his last work wasn't with Bruce Springsteen.
That's right. I remember this. Go ahead, share it.
It was with Lady Gaga, the song "The Edge of Glory."
Yeah, for that sax solo in there. That's Clarence Clemens.
The edge of glory. Rest in peace, big man Clarence. We miss you.
The big man. R.I.P. to the big man.
And the Wrecking Ball tour.
Yeah. Oh.
Was Clarence on this? Was this recorded before he died or after he died?
Wrecking Ball was recorded after he died.
Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you.
He was, and this album I thought was great. It was his 17th album, but it was great.
And the tour finished second to Roger Waters.
Yeah.
I actually just literally read that right there.
Okay, that's a fair point. But it's one of the highest grossing tours of all time, which is great. Springsteen and I, that's a documentary about his fans.
Yeah, but I just want to say from Wrecking Ball, I like the song Wrecking Ball. I also like We Take Care of Our Own.
I love that song. I blasted that song so many times I lost track.
We take care of our own wherever this flag's flown.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
And I also liked Land of Hope and Dreams.
That's a great song. I like it quite a bit, but he's like, to me, it's been played out just a little bit. I love it though, but it's been a little played out in my opinion.
And the song, and fun fact, the song "We Take Care of Our Own" was actually Joe Biden's campaign song.
Yeah, he walked out to it.
This has been
Random Facts with Bill. Random Facts with Bill.
This has been Random Facts with Bill.
Yes. High hopes.
The first episode of the Daily Show. Oh, he did play that for Jon Stewart.
Because Jon Stewart inducted him into the Kennedy Center.
What was that?
Jon Stewart inducted Bruce Springsteen into the Kennedy Center. And Bruce Springsteen repaid him by playing on his last show. See right here.
Yeah.
And then there was a rumor about a tour coming out, and sure enough, I saw him on that tour, the River Tour, which was great. It was a great tour. That's when he played his longest shows in the U.S., like 4 hours each. Insane. So like right here, honestly, this is what I'm talking about. You get your money. The tickets were like $100 for 4 hours of music. That's insane.
You get your money's worth.
The guy's great.
JT, the 2-hour shows are so much better.
But Bill, you got it all wrong.
I get home at a reasonable hour and drink my warm milk and listen to Michael McDonald before I go to bed.
Jesus Christ.
I don't do that, I swear. No offense to Michael McDonald.
No.
Actually, maybe a lot of offense to him. I don't know.
Springsteen on Broadway is coming back, which is great. There's current stuff now. Western Stars, Letter to You. Two great. High Hopes was pretty good to me. I mean, not everyone liked it, but Western Stars was great, and Letter to You was amazing. His most recent 2 albums are great. Like, I'm not saying that it's like a built-in Bruce Springsteen fan. I'm saying that it's like you should listen to these albums quick. You know that on his most recent album, there's 3 songs in there that are pre-Greetings from Asbury Park.
Really?
Like, they're over 50 years old. Songs for Orphans, If I Was the Priest, and what's the last one? I can't think of it. Songs for Orphans, If I Was a Priest, and I can't think of the last one. Janie Needs a Shooter. Those are all pre-Greetings from Asbury Park. So they're like 50 years old, and he put them on the new album. It's crazy. So it's great.
Did not expect to tour again until at least 2022. Goes, my antenna tells me at best 2022. I would consider this concert industry lucky if it happens then.
Move it up for you.
Once you hit, I'm going to consider myself lucky if I just lose a year of touring life. No, he basically lost 2.
It sucks for a lot of the guys who are like touring still, you know?
Yeah, once you hit 70, there's a finite amount of tours and a finite amount of years that you have. And so you lose 1 or 2. That's not so great. Springsteen also confirmed, follow up to his tracks outtake, box was set in the works. So, yeah, I wonder if he's going to keep going or he may just call it quits soon.
Honestly, I think he's going to do it until he drops.
I think, him and I think Paul McCartney too. I think they're going to.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go until they drop. I think they're going to keep going until they drop. Like,
the thing is, the guys who are still around from that era, like Springsteen, Joel, like there's so many of them who are not doing farewell tours, and because they just want to put out music, and that's what they do.
Yeah, but you know what? He's also doing, like I told you recently, he just did the podcast with Obama.
Yeah, I heard about that.
If it's for money, I don't think he has to go anymore for money. I think he's pretty well off.
He has enough money, guys, and it's not about the money; it's about the quality of work.
It's not about the money. He's gonna go on John Mellencamp's album.
Yeah. Bill, I know you just read that off here about him like touring and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying this on air and on recording and whatnot and all that stuff. There is a unconfirmed rumor going around the New York City area that he will appear with the E Street Band at Summerfest NYC.
Oh, is that the one at Central Park?
Yes.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Let's go, Bill!
Do it! We're doing it! Yes!
Let's go!
Wait, is that the one at Central Park they were talking about, or?
Yeah, rumor has it that de Blasio said that.
Rumors!
A great album by Fleetwood Mac.
Rumors! They have not been confirmed or denied yet.
But who knows? I mean, if he...
Yeah, but you know how much tickets are going to go for?
Dude, it's Bruce Springsteen.
You would probably give up your life savings for it, wouldn't you?
I give my left nut. Not literally, you know what I mean. But we'll see. Science. Give it up for science. Yeah. All right. Anyways, political life, personal life, blah blah blah. Who cares? Politics, blah blah blah. Whatever.
We just talked a good amount about that.
We talked about
Guess
that.
what? There's no Angry Bob outside our houses yet. So
Woohoo!
we did good. We don't suck. We don't suck.
I want to just shed light on this. Oh, and his last album too, I should say, Western Stars. Western Stars was much more orchestral, like more strings and stuff. If you have not heard your Western Stars yet, I recommend you check it out. It's a really great album, like widespread critical acclaim. It reached number 2 on the Billboard 200. Fantastic record. And There Goes My Miracle is a great track. It sounds a lot like Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy, a little bit. It's really great. I recommend it.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah, and he plays it on the live album too. But I want to also shed light on his most recent album too. Letter to You was released in 2020. There's one great thing that came out of 2020, which was Letter to You. This album was fantastic. I listened to it just this morning, actually.
Really?
And I listened a good portion of it because it's an hour long. But it was honestly so. How does he still do it? That's what I want to know. There's like I said, the 3 songs on this album are pre-Green Asbury Park. If I Was a Priest, Janie Needs a Shooter, and Songs for Orphans. Those are all from. Where's the track listing? Those are all from his most recent, his pre-1973, like 1972 or 1. So there's that one. Janie Needs a Shooter is from that album. If I Was a Priest and Songs for Orphans are in those albums. And they sound like that writing of the time, too, if you think about it. Like all the heavy words, heavy lyrics, heavy melody. A lot of words, you know. It was great.
Ooh, Jay Clemens. I wonder if that's Clarence's son.
It's his nephew, actually.
Oh, okay.
Like it's still in the family, but it's not like, you know,
direct.
It's close as you're gonna get. Let's put it that way. And when I saw him, listen, when you see Bruce Springsteen live, that saxophone is amazing live. That horn is awesome. By the way, this album chart, before we come to our final, conclusion and whatnot for the night, about who's better. Letter to You reached number 2 on the Billboard 200. Springsteen is the first ever act to have top 5 charting albums in the past 6 decades. So within the past 6 decades, he's had a top 5 album. He's the first person to do so. Did I see Juice WRLD do that? No, because he's dead.
Hey, don't speak ill of the dead.
Sorry, you know what I mean, though. But like that, the guy has been doing so good, so well, still. So, anyways, Bruce Springsteen. There's that argument. He's we spent a lot of time on Bruce.
Anyway,
that's okay though.
Yeah, and just comparing Springsteen and Petty, I think Springsteen, again, his music is like that working class, blue collar.
Yeah.
Well, I think Tom Petty's music is that more Americana, middle America.
Heartland rock.
Kind of like the Heartland rock.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, picking one over the other.
2 states that are like the butt of the joke. Springsteen's from Jersey, Petty's from Florida. Both states that we tremendously make fun of.
Why? Who knows? Oh my God. Bill, you go first. If you had to pick, there's a gun to your head, hopefully not. Bruce Springsteen or Tom Petty? Who do you pick?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Because I like Tom Petty too, but
I love Tom Petty too. But go on.
Because I've listened to more Springsteen than Petty. So
all right, that's fair.
All right, what's yours? Do I even have to ask?
Listen, it's actually harder to debate than it looks for me personally, because I love both. Both are similar styles, similar rock styles. I will say Tom Petty had more hits than Bruce Springsteen, as far as I'm aware of. But as far as it's so difficult for me because like Bruce Springsteen, on one hand, he's longevity. On the other hand, Tom Petty is much more like he had a lot more success with hits and stuff like that. That I really like.
There's a difference about who's more successful, but who do you? I think it's a difference between success and who do you prefer. I think it's like a big difference.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, I mean, so basically, this is my preference, my pick on this.
Yeah.
I mean, Petty's been in my life a long time, but I don't know. To be honest, if I'm bringing...
There's a gun to your head right now, JT.
Springsteen!
I knew it.
I mean, like, no, but like, Bill, it was actually a hard debate.
It kind of was.
Because like they're both so similar.
This one was I thought this was going to be easy. I literally had to stop and think about it. I'm like...
Yeah.
Because last week, because like I said, I picked Billy Joel over Elton John. But Billy Joel, I would say by a hair.
Yeah.
And
it's so hard.
And I don't know if I really have any preference over them because, like I said, I don't listen to them as much as I do Billy Joel or Elton John or the ones we're going to do next week, which we're still not telling you.
Oh, you guys are going to flip next week. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, it's going to be the big one, folks. It's going to be the big one.
The big one.
We might have to get some friends in on this one.
We might have to, yeah.
We don't think we could do it for... I don't think it's just us alone. Like, we may need some help. But yeah, now what would you say are your top 5 Springsteen and top 5 Petty songs?
Oh,
we're getting difficult now, folks.
My top 5. I'm gonna start with my top 5 Tom Petty songs. It's a little bit easier for me.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm including solo work as well. I'm not just including with the Heartbreakers.
You can do that.
Number 5, I'm gonna say. Number 5, I'm gonna say Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Okay.
Number 4, I'm gonna say Learning to Fly.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna say Running Down a Dream. And then number 2, I Won't Back Down. Number 1, American Girl.
Okay, here's my top 5.
What's your top 5 Tom Petty?
My number 5 is Free Fallin'.
Okay.
I know that's kind of standard.
That's fine.
My number 4 is probably Learning to Fly as well.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. No, I'm going to scrap that. I have a better one. My number 4 is actually... My number 4 is The Waiting.
Ooh, good one.
The waiting is the hardest part. My number 3 is American Girl.
Okay.
My number 2, like I said, very underrated song, The Apartment Song.
Uh-huh.
And my number 1 is Won't Back Down.
All right. Good stuff. Those are our Tom Petty picks.
It's now the hard one, folks.
The waiting is the hardest part, as they say. But bing.
Top 5 Bruce Springsteen. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first. I gotta think. You go first.
God, me too. Okay, so here we go. My number 5 is probably We Take Care of Our Own.
Wow. Okay.
My number 4, Hungry Heart.
Good one.
My number 3 is Born to Run.
Okay.
I know I put that weirdly low on the list. Number 2, I would have to say The Rock. Okay, number 1, number 2 split. Number 2, I'm going to have to say The Rising.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is Glory Days.
Wow. Big words.
All right. Over to you, my friend.
This has been big
honorable
words.
mention, The River. I got to put The River on.
Oh,
Honorable
good man. Woo! My number 5 Bruce Springsteen song. Something that I always turn to all the time. I'm going to say Girls in Their Summer Clothes. Timeless song from 2007. Probably his best song on that album, Girls in Their Summer Clothes. I'm going to say number 4 is going to be Darkness on the Edge of Town, the title track to his 4th album. That's a great track. Great track. Number 3, I'm gonna say number 3. Oh my god, I'm number 3. I'm gonna have to say. Wait. What did I say? I said girls in the summer clothes. Darkness on the edge of town. Man. Thunder Road from from Live 75 to 85. Because that's a great cut of that song. Number 2, I'm going to say Jungle Land, and number 1, I'm going to say Born to Run. Jungle Land. If you have not heard Jungle Land, do yourself a goddamn favor and listen to Jungle Land.
Yeah. All right.
Great song.
We made it through another one, folks.
That was difficult.
If you thought this week was difficult, wait till next week.
You guys are going
to be insane. We'll tell you. You ready? I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Nope, we're not telling you.
Oh my God.
You're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. Oh my
God. One.
It's a big one, guys. Listen to this.
Yeah, we probably can't do this one alone.
We're going to need help.
We're going to probably need some help from our friends.
What a dead giveaway.
Oh, you don't know. We don't know.
Are you talking about Joe Cocker? What? Anyways.
But we will have to, you're going to have to wait and see next week.
Oh, yeah, everyone. We're going to have to wait and see.
And like I said, we may have to bring in some experts on this one.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a tough battle.
Experts. We know some.
We know a couple people who can definitely help us out because we do take care of our own on this show.
We do take care of our own.
Let's go. Anyways, I want to thank my good man Bill for joining us tonight for this hot debate. Clearly, Bruce Springsteen won, but who will win next week? That's a tough debate. We're going to have to see what happens.
Yep.
I want to thank my good man Bill Murphy for joining us once again.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Now, not only can you buy, I did this the third time doing this. You can buy
merchandise. That's where the real money is.
You can buy a mug from our Super Review Show merchandise store in the description of this video and on our website as well. So you can, besides, if we do movies, reviews, and podcasts, check us out on all platforms. And did I mention, Bill, did we happen to plug your podcast by chance? Did you have a podcast?
Sports Insanity Podcast. Check us out. We are on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good man, Bill. Good man. Well, thank you everyone for watching and listening tonight. Hopefully tonight's discussion was pretty straightforward and easy for you, but ultimately it's what you guys have to say. Jump down in the comment section below. Share this video. Do whatever you have to do. Share your love.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your kids. Tell your wives. Tell your dogs. Tell your cats.
Share this video with everyone. We hope to see you guys next week for our final this or that mixed bag special.
Well, we'll still have mixed bag after that. This is the last this or that we might do for a little bit.
It's our last special of this kind. We'll see how that goes. But like I said, we're not telling you what it is.
You're gonna have to wait and see.
Oh, you guys are gonna flip.
It's the big one. It's a big one, folks.
The big kahuna.
The big kahuna.
So.
Some might like if we have some friends on, we might make some new friends. We might make some enemies.
But we'll see what happens.
Anyway, next week.
Yes, next week we'll see what happens. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Keep rocking on and keep on rocking in the free world. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care.